Well, good afternoon and welcome once again to this round 4 clash of the 2018 GPS rugby season. Today we are live from International Stadium in Tennyson, where St Joseph's Gregory Terrace play host to Churchie, in which they have plenty of feeling and perfect weather. The atmosphere here is electric. The fields are well in perfect condition. If you're a racing fan, it's a good 3, so the track is fast and hard. This afternoon, we are looking forward to a massive game of rugby. My name is Michael Chettle, and joining me once again in co-commentary is a walking GPS rugby encyclopedia, Nick Darvanese. Darvo, good afternoon.
Michael Chettle, you're too kind of me, mate. Thank you so much for welcoming to me and to the rest of the audience to a beautiful day for rugby out here at Tennyson. Could not be any better.
Mate, it's going to be a really, really big game this afternoon. However, let's look at round 3's matchups. There's been some really, really big games last week.
Yeah, starting off the round 3 action with Gregory, with Churchie's match against Brisbane Grammar School over at Oakland's Parade. This try he did Wayne Bilston straight through, sailing through the gap to score his try. Churchie got off to a 17-5 win, putting them in one loss in the season, so pretty good for them so far. Gregory Terrace, this is an absolute pearl. I called this at the time the try of the season contender. Tyrone Metasela Suapaia, stepping, weaving, offloading, a bit of everything, goes through so many pairs of hands, eventually finding its way to Will Kirk on this left wing. Beautiful stuff. I mean, it wasn't that just a cracking try. Incredible stuff.
Champagne rugby, Nick.
Of course, a big win there for Gregory Terrace over State High at the Coliseum last week. Moving across to the Southport School, hosting Toowoomba Grammar in a huge second half performance. This try here to Zach Palmer coming up on the right wing, putting Southport in great stead as the favourites of this competition at this stage of the comp. And finally to Nudgee College, this try here set up exquisitely by Rashawn Pasatoa, striding out of so many tackles. We're finding a trailing Matt Engelbrett here in the blue headgear, the blindside flanker, screeching over the score in another big win. So the top dogs from GPS really making their credentials known. So a quick recap of results. Well, we're going to have a quick look at Terrace. Looks like they're not too far from running onto the field. You love the school spirit on display in moments like this, don't you, Mike?
Oh, mate, it's once again trying to get in here this afternoon was absolutely a nightmare. The crowd is huge, and yet again, it is an unbelievable atmosphere this afternoon.
So round 4, we've got Brisbane Grammar School taking on TSS at home at Northgate. That's going to be a really tough one for them. We'll see how Grammar can handle that Southport attack. Right here today on Internationals Oval, Gregory Terrace hosting Anglican Church Grammar School. Ipswich Grammar School taking it back to their old home base at the main campus. That's going to be an absolute corker. One of the great spectator arenas. And we're going to have a quick look at the table now. Southport School, Nudgee and BBC all sitting undefeated at this point. BBC experienced the bye last week, so they're currently at one match off the pace. In the mid-table, a battle for the mid-table going to be decided here today with Gregory Terrace and Anglican Church Grammar School. Both teams sitting on, well, rather having, the difference is one loss. And we're going to have one team on 2, I think, by the end of this.
Yeah, it's a pretty tight table when it gets down to the middle of the table at the moment. But this afternoon, Darvo, I really think I'm looking forward to the battle of the hookers this afternoon. Zach Crothers and Hudson Mulcahy, who coming off a 3-try half. First half last week, 3 tries.
Yeah, phenomenal. He's the strongest bloke in their squad, Hudson Mulcahy, and he used all that power to score 3 tries himself. Zach Crothers didn't quite have that. He had a bit of an inauspicious game, controversially carded towards the end of Churchie's match against Brisbane Grammar School, so he'll have plenty of juice saved up, ready to go for this match today. The Australian schoolboys hooker, of course.
Now, we also look at last week, Tyrone Metasela Suapaia went off with a hyperextended elbow, and he's back playing this week.
Yeah, I had a chat to Tyrone this week. He tells me that he's going to play through the pain. He's a pretty tough kid. They're not too pleasant, those hyperextended elbows, but hopefully once the adrenaline gets flowing, he can push through and really make a weapon of himself on this field today.
Well, as we can see, here we go. Here's Gregory Terrace and Darva. You're going to run us through Gregory Terrace.
Yes, in the front row, Emerson Treasure, Hudson Mulcahy and Malvin Mavega will reprise their roles from last week. It's been an unchanged hooking and front row combination so far. In the second row, Marley Bitungan and Ben Clifford. In the back row, that man, Tyrone Metasela Suapaia, Lewis Jorgensen, and the number 8 and captain, Will Roach. In the back line, Will Kirk and Pat Elikana recombine in the halves. On the wings, Glenn Vehu and Keegan Vandenberg. In the centres, Dan Condon, Mason Hill, and rounding out the team at fullback, Quinn Ciolo.
And let's look at Churchie this afternoon. We got Max Drummond and JP Tomanico in the front row. Zach Crothers at hooker. Fred Fruchel, Will McPherson at second row. Hunter Shan, Connor McKinlay and Angus Ogilvie in the back row. Aaron Prosser and Charlie Howard taking the boys around the field. Harry Carrigan and Jacob Middleton-Pole on the wings. Ben Stoddart, Izzy Sword and Wayne Bilston at fullback. as you can see both teams coming out in the field right now.
Well, it's a little bit of a break from tradition, isn't it? Normally we get the away team to run out through their tunnel and have to wait for you under the spotlight of this Terrace crowd in the stadium. Terrace bucking that trend today. They're going to send out their team first.
And I'll say this every week, Darvo, that tribal instinct and mentality, how good is this? So they've got
Churchie, some organising going on there.
He's got the 1980 sunglasses too. How good are those?
Loving these capes from Churchie. That's a nice touch, I think. Where do capes go out of fashion?
I don't know.
I'd rock one, I reckon.
Well, if you've got obviously in Churchie, if you've got a cape, it means people have to listen to you because this fella here is telling everyone what to do. How good.
That's always the way it should be, I reckon. There's a great tradition of mascots in the GPS. A couple of really famous ones. Nudgee College have their polar bear. The Southport School have a shark. Brisbane Grammar School has King G, who gets all dressed up in a cape not too dissimilar.
Not the shorts King G, but the King G?
Yeah, no, that's right.
Yeah, fair enough.
It's a pretty decent kid, actually. What a shot this is. Churchie, ready for battle.
We said it last week, Darvo, when Brisbane State High ran out, the perfect camera shot there. You get the feeling, if you've never played rugby or first 15 before, that's that feeling you get when you come out to a crowd like that.
Oh, geez. And how good is this to be able to bring you guys in the audience this wonderful coverage, bring you into the heart of GPS rugby, something that in my day, certainly in the days before, this was never an option. You had to actually be in the tunnel. Today you get to experience a bit of that yourself. Running out through the Churchie tunnel to take battle on Gregory Terrace. And
you can see the chest puff out, can't you? The chest puff out ready to go. And look, we said last week, we want to run out ourselves. How good's this?
24 degrees, 0% chance of rain. That's what we like to see. And a slight breeze blowing towards our cameras here, right to left across this field.
So we see Churchie running from right to left. All the Churchie supporters going back to the stands. Kickoff by Churchie. High kickoff. That's Will Roach taking the ball there at number 7. Inside the 22. Referee says play on. Good contact by Churchie early in the game. Just inside now. 2 passes outside the ruck and more. Just trying to break one tackle. There's numbers here if they need it. On the outside is Mason Hill. Hill offloads to on the deck. Missed the number there.
Young Elikana, the fly half.
Elikana Kirk out to Suapaia. He's got the elbow, not even strapped. How tough is he? Kirk again at scrum half. Churchie coming off the line fast. There's our man. There's our man Mulcahy getting up to the 10-metre nick. We love him. Going from right to left. Again, Hill playing first off. Good tackle. Quinn Soyolo. That was Zach Crothers with a big tackle.
And the other hooker making his presence felt physically.
Pick and drive again. Very good patience. Good patience there by Gregory Terrace there. Quick tap.
There's no patience there. Quick tap.
Elikana out to Soapia. Knock on. How good's that?
Oh, his eyes lit up. You could just tell.
Darbo, 4 or 5 faces coming out of the 22, and then a quick tap. How good's this for schoolboy rugby?
Well, we've seen Terrace over the course of the season love to control possession wherever they can. They'd rather not kick if given the opportunity to, and we see that attacking outset approach right from the outset here. I just want to quickly talk about the 2 attacking teams. Gregory Terrace currently the 3rd rated attacking team in the competition, averaging per game points, 28 per match, and conceding 30 as well. So it's going to be a high-scoring match if Gregory Terrace are involved. So a bit of a back row shuffle here. Tyrone Medicel, Sulpai packing at 8, Will Roach at 7, and Lewis Jorgensen at 6.
So Prosser feeding the ball just on the left-hand side, right-hand side of the halfway line. Prosser out to Howard. Howard with a short ball, met on the halfway line. Good tackle. No contest at the breakdown. One off the ruck. Over the top there. Referee says that's okay. Prosser again, directing traffic to one of the big men and met by Butungan. Referee says, no, you're too fast there.
Doing a wonderful first up tackle, making a mistake there to get involved the second time around. You cannot play the halfback in that situation. And that's a lesson he's going to have to learn in his first season of rugby union.
Been very impressed by him the last few games there, Nick, as well. He's been really, he's been good on the ball. And quite consistent as well. He's one of those guys, every time he takes the ball up, he finds a few yards in defence. With his rugby league background, been very strong. Yeah,
it's been surprising actually. You haven't seen that sort of influence on the running game that you might expect as a centre in rugby league, which is what Batunga and actually his experience has been. But his work on the ground defensively, he's been a real find for Gregory Terrace.
So Frutrell goes up, down to Pross, out to Howard. Inside ball. Whoever takes that one for a tackle, that'll be a turnover. Condon out to Hill. Here's Vandenberg on the right-hand side wing. Inside ball. Doesn't stick to the hands. Good contact one more time. That's the sideline on your right-hand side. Elikana hits the deck there. Outside him is Metasulas up here. Batungan again at breakdown. Short ball there to Clifford. Leave it, says the referee. Pick and drive. Goes up now to the 22 line. Pop and pass there. Kirk out the left-hand side.
Wonderful hands by Kirk.
You're not kidding. Kirk again. Picking the short side. Mulcahy, the man. He wants 3 more this week.
It just makes you smile, doesn't it, when Mulcahy takes that head of steam up.
It makes you smile indeed. Elikana out to Metasula Sapia. He's been busy this afternoon early. Elikana backdoor. The Hill. Big cutout pass there. The bounce again. Head ball hits the deck. Vandenberg picks and goes well.
Gets there first.
Remember a couple of weeks ago, ball's hitting the deck and tries to nudge you very, very quickly. Kirk, Elikana again, quick hands. Yet again.
Great tackle, Connor McKinlay.
Slow ball now for Terrace. Kirk, out to Elikana again. That was Condon. Well, his standard was very, very good early last week, but was very quiet afterwards. Good rushing defence there, Nick, by Churchie, making the Terrace boys make a decision early.
Yeah, plenty of defensive pressure being put on, but Terrace up to the challenge so far. Except, what a turnover that was, out of nowhere.
That was an exceptional turnover, Darvo. That's number 7. That's Connor McKinlay.
Connor McKinlay hails from Mackay. A childhood friend of Ronan Hassel, the number 8 from Toowoomba Grammar School, who we saw in great form earlier this year. He moved down to Churchie a few years ago and has found a home at the number 7 jersey here in this first 15 this year.
Well, he was on the ball like a seagull on a chip, wasn't he? He was on there and all of a sudden the pressure's been taken off Churchie.
I suppose a shout-out necessary for the Mackay City Redmond Club back home.
So 10 offloads Howard. In the middle one more time. No contest there for Terrace again. Out the back door. Big contact by Mavega. Won't run down that channel again. Crosser to the number 7, the man who got the turnover, McKinlay. No contact again. Offside referee calls. That was too quick there by Will Jorgensen. That's the number 8, Angus Ogilvie, the skipper as well. He's not 120 kilos, Darvo, like he told you.
No, some of these boys having a bit of fun in the pre-game, I think. We would have figured that one out pretty quickly, I think, even had we bought it in the first place. But points, an early shot at goal here, poised for Churchie.
Geez, it's been a very sprightly game, hasn't it, in the first six minutes or so?
Well, I spoke this week with Charlie Howard, who's the fly half for Churchie, as well as the halfback Aaron Prosser, and they said, look, on Saturday we don't know who's going to take these kicks. Flip a coin. Looks like that one's going to go down Aaron Prosser, the halfback. So we'll see if he can bring 3 points to his name.
So, bit of wind out there, but if you're looking at the top of the goalpost, they are metal flags, so we don't know which way they're going.
Maybe one of the Churchie boys can lend them the cape.
Strikes it. Straight over the black and red dot. 3-0 Churchie.
Hitting the early lead. And that's what we want to see from Churchie. They haven't scored a whole lot of points this season. They're averaging around 11 per game in attack. So building in threes, that's an easy way to surpass that total for them. And if Terrace is going to give up these penalty opportunities, then why not?
So Will Kirk to kick off. Hits it nice and high. Plenty of time to get under the ball. Bit too far for the liking of Kirk. Just outside the 22-metre line. Crosser with a bit of a box kick, hits the deck, bounces up high. The bounce is kind of Churchie. Right-hand side, right in front of their massive crowd. Again, Prosser out to Howard. Howard takes on the line, and a big prop, Drummond. He didn't see much room there. Howard again, very selective pass. That's Sword, I believe, and Sword offloads to Bilston. Bilston, who was very strong last week with a try. Prosser, and now number 2, is that Crothers again, Nick? I believe it is, yeah. That was a very flat for Fred Frutrell, but referee says that was okay.
Wonderful tackle. Mason Hill spilling the ball loose.
Knock on. Let's go.
Well, we've given Mason Hill plenty of raps for his offensive game over the last few weeks. We haven't seen that sort of defensive standout play yet. That was certainly one play that might make us reconsider our position. A wonderful tackle.
Interesting when you look back at this game so far with the contest with the scrums here, Nick.
Yeah, no, Gregory Terrace scrumming very well at 95%, but not as good as Churchie, it seems. Of course, they played one game less, so there's the spread not quite as accurate. They should be evenly matched.
It's just gone down this side. We've slipped. Let's just bring our feet forward.
Let's just come in about an angle.
Feet forward.
Take back an angle. Let's go big one here, JP.
You look at this contrast between Zach Crothers, the hooker, and Melvin Vega, the tight head prop for Gregory Terrace. 42 kilograms the difference.
Really strong here, Will.
Nick Leescar, referee for the match.
So once again, Will Kirk to feed the ball. Elikana directing traffic. Good scrum by Churchie.
And how about that?
Ball goes backwards to the big fella. Metasula Sulpair. Once again, Churchie trying to slow the ball down. Good offload for Clifford, playing fly half at the moment. Another one, oh, there we go, the skipper, Will Roach. Once again, everywhere early in the game. Mulcahy gets over the gain line one more time. I'd love to see his, as I say, post-contact stats to be dynamite.
The meters after contact, yeah, absolutely.
So it looks like, again, there's a bump off of a tackle there by Mason Hill. Mason Hill, I'll tell you what, went straight through him.
Oh, but Wayne Bilson, the fullback from Gregory Terrace, up to the challenge, wrestling him into touch.
I think the last few weeks, Dan Condon's been a bit of a standout in the centres, but Hill's come out with a bit of intention this afternoon.
Oh, Hill's got so much running in him. It's just very fun to watch. And thank goodness for Churchie that had big Wayne Bilson, 187 centimetres tall, 90 kilograms of weight. He needed every bit of that to throw Mason Hill into touch.
So, Crothers with the throw. In front of the number 4, that was 5, that was McPherson. Crash ball right in the middle of the field. Referee says yes. Will Roach.
Incredible speed onto that ball.
Yeah. Shot? Shot.
Well, just like that, the ability of having great on-the-ball flanker immediately going to give you a chance to score 3 points purely through his on-the-ball presence.
Well, just as any good number 7, the angle of when he comes from the back of the line out and on top of that ball is unbelievable. And to be legal to come through the gate, you can just see him coming off the back here. He just crossed for the ball, and as soon as Elikana took him on the ground, he's on him again.
Oh, and if you're a Churchie supporter, you might say, well, there was no release in that, but I think in the motion of taking the ground, I think you'd certainly give that penalty. Will Kirk.
And I'm not going to tell you how many missed or got last week, because I get that wrong every week.
Well, it was better last week than it was the before. He'll hope to improve once again.
Strikes a kick. Just to the left-hand side. Struck it well, though.
Yeah, no, very clean strike. The conditions, though, this slight breeze that ebbs and flows, it can sometimes be hard to take that into account when you're kicking. So that's a battle that Will Kirk will have to face.
So the 22 drop out. Churchie up 3-0. 11 minutes, 20 gone. With a longer kick, hanging up in the breeze there. Kirk's under it. Elikana finds his partner in crime, gets on the outside shoulder. That's Vehu. Vehu, who in the dying minutes last week was very, very strong. Kirk will look for his fly half again, but no, that's Mulcahy. What does he want? What else would he want? Another hit. Squeeze ball, no. Referee says yes.
Well, I think we're going to see this match have quite a few of those penalties given today. Lightning work on the breakdown by Churchie. But it seems you don't have to hold on for too long to be awarded that penalty.
And if your support runners are not right with you, you get crucified by your opposition number 7 most, or not even in number 7 these days, any number.
Well, that's right. Both captains in the back row, they got to bring their forwards in close and say, hey, we need your support if we're going to run this ball in.
So Crothers off the top again. Cross it to Howard. Good line through on the right, and that's the number 7. That's going to be McKinlay. Oh, he hits the post.
Streaking away. No one could tackle him, not even the posts.
Did you get a extra point for the post? Or? But that was a great line there. Everyone was looking at the dummy runners, and he went straight through that gap.
Yeah, phenomenal. And what about a turn of speed on this bloke, Connor McKinlay from Mackay? The short line out gives Terrace, Churchie so many backline options to hit. It's quite a struggle to defend that sometimes. We see here the fly half, Charlie Howard. Oh, beautiful work, like clockwork. That's exactly how they drew that play up on the drawing board. And it turns out the post was the sternest defence he had to worry about. Phenomenal try. I don't see many open side flankers streaking away for tries like that.
It was very interesting, the line they were all running, and it seemed to be Terrace had eyes for only particular players, and everyone forgot about McKinlay.
Well, McKinlay just hovering in the back. You'd assume the 7 was there in a support role to get on the ball quickly in those, supporting his centres. And
So,
quite large centres too for Churchie. 84 kilograms, Ben Stoddart, but Izzy Sword, 111. As a monster in the midfield for Churchie.
So 10-0.
And 10-0, just like that. Not the start Gregory Terrace might have envisioned. They're a very composed outfit, Churchie, it seems.
So Kirk with the kick. Yet again gone a little bit too deep. Batungan with the tackle.
Chased down well.
Just outside the 22. Another box kick as well. Let's see what happens now. Vahu with the ball. Referee says no, offside. Quick tap by Vahu. Vahu bumps off one. Bumps off a second, onto his third.
Thought that might have been Elikana. No, it was Vahu, you're right.
Metasula Sapaia again up over the gain line one more time. Connor McKinlay was on that again.
Yeah, big clean out by Emerson Treasure.
So Clifford. Referee says leave it. Yes, you can hear in your microphone there. Hudson Mulcahy with the pass to Mavega. Mavega 10 metres out from the try line. Hudson Mulcahy. Oh, Nick, we've said it before. If they're not right up there, oh, that's a fullback.
That's Wayne Bilston getting up in there. 7 times 2. With a bit of change. Phenomenal work.
So yeah, Wayne Bilston all over that again, but there we see Mulcahy just put a little pass into his repertoire.
Oh, brilliant. Putting away Malcolm and Vagey. Thought he'd be hard to stop in that situation, but geez. This breakdown presence of this Churchie 15 really smothering the life out of Gregory Terrace in attack, especially in the last few minutes.
I think you're exactly right. We're going to see a fair few turnovers today if after 15 minutes, anything to go by. Crothers again. Up at 2, off the top.
Freddie Futrell.
Cross around to Howard. Crash ball in the middle, right. The 2-7s clash in the middle again. This time McKinlay wins that one.
Will McPherson, one of the busiest carriers in the GPS this year.
Inside the 22, trying to come out. It's the big men on each other right in the tram tracks. Mulcahy with a good tackle. Mavega over the top. Referee says no, that's okay. A box kick by Prosser. Goes up in the air, looks like could be a bit of a knock on there by Churchie, yes.
Well, it's about time we got a break, but gee, wasn't it the clash of the giraffe on the run over for Freddie Futrell up on Hudson Mulcahy?
Interesting tactic on this side of the field, and that both in the 5-yard lines. They're going for the box kick every time.
So just on that box kick, make sure that wing is behind you. Yeah, sorry.
So Churchie warning about making sure their chases are onside, but it's a tactic that seems to be working for them. I mean, I think it's 3 or 4 attempts, and they've won 3 turnovers off it.
So Kirk.
As we mentioned, Gregory Terrace, the 25-kilogram advantage in the scrum, being walked backwards.
Elikana. Condon just gets on the gain line again. Well played back.
So much to like about Dan Condon.
Elikana takes on the line, tackled by Middleton Pole on the right-hand side. Kirk Elikana, who's he got now? That looks like Ben Clifford to me. Gets up around the 10-metre line. That's a good gain. Elikana. Mulcahy, one more time, but there's good contact.
Great shot. JP Tamiko, the Queensland Schoolboys prop.
Suapaya with an offload there to Condon. Pick and drive. No, Kirk goes himself.
Yeah, the seatbelt tackle. You're not going to get away with that. But offside is the penalty. And Will Kirk taking quite a shot there, gingerly getting to his feet.
It's like anything, watching these young blokes play now, just the technique on top of the ball. These big second rowers are 6'4", 6'5", whatever they are, and how quickly they get over the ball and on top of the ball.
Well, you wonder if this choice to kick for the corner has been motivated by Kirk's confidence in his own kicking boot at the moment, or whether Terrace simply backed themselves to score from a set-piece situation. We'll find out the answer to that very soon.
So about 20 metres out from the try line. Mulcahy to throw the ball in.
Step. So look right here. I'm happy. I just want you to step, okay?
Churchie's back five with an advantage of 2 centimetres average height across the back five.
That's probably the hairstyles at the back there, I think, Nick, as well.
There's not a lot in that.
So Kirk at Elikana. To Condon with a crash ball. There's good contact in the middle. 12 on 12, Ben Stoddart. Slower ball from Kirk. Mavega again. You're right before, Nick. How hard is he to stop this close to the line? But they do well. Jorgensen again on the right-hand side of the park. Just slowing the ball down a little bit.
Oh, there's a knock.
Again, that pressure just taken off, isn't it?
Will Roach, the Australian Schoolboys, open side flanker. He took his eyes off the ball there. Had a peek. And all credit must go at this stage of the match to Churchie's defence, just frustrating Gregory Terrace at every turn. Whenever they try to use the ball, there's a Conor McKinlay or a Fred Futrell in there to slow down that ball. Gregory Terrace want to reverse this trend real quick.
So Prosser with the feed. Let's see what Churchie have got. They've got a couple of runners there. Runner or a kick. Let's see if they go straight for exit. Or they've crashed ball early. Yeah, that's right.
Sword.
Keeping him off his feet. His legs are still pumping. He's over the 22-metre line. He's still going.
What
Sword.
a carry.
Ball's available.
Probably not what the greatest plus they wanted to get. Ball had to be taken back.
Well, no, the carry was too big. They've gone out of their own 22, and all of a sudden they've got to give back this dangerous Terrace back 3 possession.
So Siolo up the middle, white headgear, very easy to distinguish. Just over the 20-metre, the halfway line. Elikana busy one more time. There's Jorgensen with Viking heritage, I believe. So the big Viking. Good short ball by Ben Clifford. He's got a pass in his game today. Elikana. Here's that man again, Mulcahy. Pops out the back door. Condon out to Ciolo.
Some enterprising play from Terrace.
On the side, yeah. JP Tomanico trying to disrupt there with his size. The skipper offload again. There's another. That's the Churchie line speed there. Really frustrating. Terrace.
Yeah, we keep saying, we're going to have to keep saying, it's continued to be the case. Churchie's defence is just stifling Gregory Terrace here.
It seems to be very one-off play at the moment by Terrace in certain aspects there. And I mean, we look at their tackles, and 103 tackles, and success is 78%, and 10 turnovers won.
And at a schoolboy level, at 78%, that's actually pretty decent. I mean, you're not going to get many sides that exceed that number by a terrific amount.
So once again, Prosser with the feed. Scrum is very strong. Out the back to Howard. Another short ball, gets over the gain line. Roach off his feet that time. Big tackle again. Batunga again. Out the back play one more time. Referee said that one's okay. Just gone the right over the top of Mavega. Mavega with the size coming over the top. There's Fred Futrell. Referee says play on. Elikana looks a little bit worse for wear in the back play.
Ball's there.
Pick and drive. No one home there for Terrace. Will Roach on top of the ball one more time. Yeah, Roach. Again. It's like the last potato on the dinner table, mate. Will Roach is all over it, I'm telling you.
Take the ball, not the player. That's why you didn't get that. That one's fine.
Jeez, a ding-dong battle between the sevens, isn't it?
He is
incredible
unbelievable
stuff. Coming into this match, Churchie's attack rated just 8th, but their defence 4th in the competition. Behind TSS, Nudgee College and BBC, so the 3 premiership favourites. The only schools with better defensive reputations in Gregory Terrace than Churchie, I beg your pardon, at this stage in the competition.
So Mulcahy with a throw. Taken down. Here we go, a driving maul. Haven't seen one of these for quite some time. Ball comes out. Kirk, Elikana. Condon. Ball goes to the deck again. 13 is Hill. Hill's been strong this afternoon, very strong. Good gain, Kirk.
He's only grade 11 as well, Mason Hill.
Would you believe that? So, Tyrone Metasoulis up here.
13 blue offside. Let's take a step. Time off. Pop the ball there.
Nick, I'd have to say, you can probably see a couple of phases. They get the big men hitting it up and trying to get Metasoulis up here. Just on the outside of maybe the smaller players as well.
I just noticed the fly half for Churchie, Charlie Howard's gone down, clutching that left shoulder. I know that in the cricket season this year, he missed the entirety of the first 11 season with a shoulder reconstruction. I wonder if that's the issue down there.
So
he's right, I beg your pardon.
So he plays first 11 and first 15?
That's right.
Jeez. I bet she's a straight A student too.
Yeah. Well, he did last year at least. Missed the cricket season this season. So never a good sign there.
So Darvo, what's your take on the game so far? It's 10-0. Churchie got out with it's been a bit of an arm wrestle so far, eh?
Yeah, absolutely. An arm wrestle is the only way to describe it, I think. I would suppose that Churchie might have been a little bit further ahead, only on the benefit of how much they've been able to stifle Gregory Terrace. You would have thought that would have equated to more points in their own attack. But still early days, 25 minutes in. These boys are tremendously fit. The strength and conditioning programs in the GPS these days are among the best you'll see around the world in schoolboy footy. So once a fatigue starts to set in, maybe in the second half, we should see this game open up just a little bit more.
Yeah, they're coming up pretty quick. Yeah, I just had a word to Angus. Thank you.
So good conversation between referee and skipper.
So
and
Charlie Howard, the fly half.
He's overcooked that there. It's gone over the dead ball. That is terrible. That is a really, really bad mistake.
Well, schoolboy error.
For it to be scrum.
Charlie Howard, the fly half for Churchie, has gone off to get more treatment on that shoulder. We haven't got a bench here, so we don't know who's replaced him yet. Maybe one of our Facebook audience can let us know.
So here we go. So had an option of either a dropout or a scrum where they kicked it from. They offered a short dropout, which didn't make sense. But Hudson Mulcahy.
He made a mistake there running into the man they call Nug, Jacob Middleton Pole.
So you can see Batungan there trying to get into play. Plays Elikana. Out the back door, doesn't use Treasure this time. Mason Hill just on the outside. You can actually see Soala trying to just get on the outside of his opposition. Elikana again has to go deep for that ball. No elbow problems there for the big number 8. Slower ball there, so this is what Churchie wanted. They get to reset their line. Short ball again to Jorgensen.
Leave it 6.
Leave it 6, says a referee. Left-hand side again, Ben Clifford with the 3rd or 4th pass of the game. Just punching down the left-hand side of the field. Treasure. Good tackle underneath, doesn't get too far. Elikana. Out the back door again to Condon. Condon to Hill. Hill still going.
You might argue Quinn Stella was taken out off the ball there. That's why it wasn't available for that offload.
So the skipper, Roach, with a hit up there. Good tackle, but no numbers to the breakdown there for Churchie. The left-hand side, good contact one more time. That line speed by Churchie, Nick, has been absolutely sensational this afternoon.
Well, can Gregory Terrace buck this trend, or will the Churchie defence come out on top right here?
Got 3 at the breakdown there for Terrace, so 3 on the next pod on the left-hand side. Kirk, who was that? Let's see who gets up number 5. Will McPherson.
Will McPherson.
Awesome. That's what we're made of.
The defensive integrity of this Churchie side is unbelievable at this stage in the match.
And you could actually hear on the microphone there, that's what we're made of. It's a really good motivator. They don't give up, and they were always on the ball. So, what does that do to Terrace's confidence there with 3 or 4 phases and turnover very, very quickly?
Get him up now!
So Crothers with a throw. Taken down off the deck. Short ball.
Great tackle and return, Gregory Terrace.
To Carrigan. Crosser with a contact. McPherson, who took that last line out. Batungan with another big tackle. JP Tomanico, the huge man, taking a big hit. With actually, that's Howard still out there. Good contact. Another box kick. Referee said that's okay. So Hudson Mulcahy, good contact there. Bit of talk at the front of the line out. Referee trying to direct traffic. Up over to hand on the ball. Ball goes down the deck. Ref touch judge says no. And they're those 1%ers the coaches want you, when you've got the ball, they're the things you want to happen. Not want to happen, sorry.
What a shot there.
So Crothers with the throw. Movement, go to the back with a bit of wind, too much pepper. Will Roach on the ball. Ball goes up.
Not straight.
Not straight, the referee says play on, referee says now.
Advantage is over.
Scrum half out, Elikana. Batungan, good, the big men collide. That's number 13 was Sword.
Get back.
Kirk picks and drives there. Inside flick to a lazy runner. He says thank you very much.
Stoddart.
Box kick one more time. Interesting tactic to this man Vehu. But to Ciolo. Inside, outside. Good tackle there, very lucky. If he didn't tackle, there'd be a lot of trouble there. No one at home. Will Kirk to Saipula Paia. One more time over the top. Elikana. Short ball to Jorgensen. Another one to Mulcahy. Can't offload. Out there to Vandenberg.
Can't offload, doesn't want to, he just wants to go forward.
Short ball. Grubbers along the ground. Goes into the 22. Just stays in. Yeah, goes out.
Trickling his touch just in that 22. A wonderful kick in the end. Would have preferred for it just to die in the field of play, but that's a good result. And if Terrace can pressure this line, it might be an even better one.
Yeah, I think you're right. Hudson Mulcahy doesn't want to pass. That's it. He got 3 last week.
He doesn't want anyone stealing his tries.
So that 15 metres out from the Churchie try line. Crothers with a short number 2. Crash ball one more time to this big centre. He's just on the inside of the 22, which is exactly where he wants to be. Short pass. Kick in the air. Doesn't want to find touch. Vandenberg and Ciolo. Ciolo there with the right foot step. The red boots. Left foot, right foot. We have a man down, I reckon. We're in a bit of trouble there. Right-hand side, Mulcahy.
The offload's live. Melvin Vega picks it up.
Kirk one more time. The big fella. Lazy runners there, but referee already got for a...
Zach Crothers down on the ground receiving some treatment. Looks like Charlie Howard is back on the field.
That was some pretty heavy contact before.
Look at this footwork. Quinn Ciolo, in his 3rd ever game, 4th ever game, I beg your pardon, at fullback. He's got it down pat.
Yeah, we know in this day and age, any kind of head knocks now, they bring out the card and say have a bit of a blow.
What are you thinking? Okay. So you're feeling blue card?
Blue card.
Yeah, there you go.
So if anyone doesn't know, the blue card means that that's a head injury or a knockout or a concussion. That the referees can make the decision, or the trainers can make a decision if a player has to go off. He didn't look well when he hit the ground though, Nick, did he?
No, he looked very shaken up. So the clock is stopped while we get some treatment there for young Zach Crothers. This Churchie team, though, very experienced in first team rugby, that every single one of them is 17 or older.
I haven't seen any clear obvious signs of concussion, so I'm happy to him to play. Awesome. But please keep an eye on him. Absolutely.
So just 3 grade 11s in this Churchie side. Aaron Prosser, the halfback. Izzy Sword, the 111-kilogram outside centre. And this fullback, Wayne Bilston. So it's going to be a new-look Churchie team next year, including a new coach, Michael Lucas, moving on to the general manager's role at East Rugby Club. Haven't heard about who will replace him as the head coach of Churchie, but when we do find out, we'll let you know.
So Zach Crothers stayed on the field. Referee was happy with it. Short ball to Mavega. Referee says no, didn't go the 5 metres.
Not straight.
Not straight.
Not straight.
Went straight to your player.
Just going back to the Zach Crothers concussion, that's very interesting how the referees can make that decision in regards to it. He looked to me like he'd a bit dazed and maybe had a bit of a breather for a little while, but referee overruled and said, yeah, no worries at all.
Well, we did see a medical staff on the field giving Crothers a bit of a check over. Maybe he's had a word with the referee that, hey, I think it's all fine.
So 5, just over the 5 metre line.
And not to be forgotten, a big let-off for Churchie again.
That's it.
With a not straight line-out throw.
Here we go, one more time with Izzy Sword, the big man, this time getting just under the 22 metre. Crawling on the ground, you can't do that.
Mark is there. Mark is there. Good.
Quick tap by Metasula Saipai.
Oh, there's space out here.
Condon, here's just a quick flick over the top there. Left foot, right foot. Vehu. Referee says that's okay.
Jeez, Bilson's not rolled away there. He's got away with it.
Wow.
Jeez. Scrambling defence as well, shutting down this Gregory Terrace attempt to go wide. They've had to work hard for their points, Gregory Terrace. They need to work a bit harder than that.
Well, it seemed one more time when, even out in the right-hand side of the park there, Churchie's line defence was actually unbelievable. Didn't give any of the Terrace boys any time to move.
Well, Jacob Middleton Pole is a right winger. He's a tiny little fella, 84 kilograms, 173 centimetres tall. He's the strongest player on the park today. He's got a squatting of 190 kilograms, more than double his body weight.
Doesn't everybody? Here we go. Prosser. Another one, this is the go-to man every single time, getting out of the 22 metre or getting some yards over the top. Prosser out the back door to Howard. Gets caught up in the wind there. Good take by the ball boy on the side. You can actually see the wind from the touchies flag there. It's a little bit to the left and right to left, sorry.
Terrace want to get this going quickly. Oh, what a steal. Angus Ogilvie, the captain.
Ogilvie with a pinch. That's exactly what they didn't want, Terrace. One more time in the middle third of the field. Prosser at scrum half. Forwards coming round for a hit up. The big men collide in the middle. Good contact. Not much going there. Referee, so that's okay. Prosser had his hands on the ball. Another big contact. Batungan, I think he's got a bit high there, Nick.
Just concerned for the player. High tackle. Slipped up. Penalty only.
Charlie Howard nursing that sore shoulder. He's copped an absolute battering upon it the last few minutes.
Time, but you can still kick for touch. You can still kick for touch, bro. Unless you want to tap and kick it out, it's over. So
Churchie,
kick it out.
Churchie choose to go to half-time. Ahead 10 points to 0.
So, Darvo, that's been a really good half of rugby. 10-0, I thought it might have been a little bit more to Churchie, but Terraces just keep plugging away, haven't they?
Oh, well, I was expecting a really high-scoring game, but the way this breakdown's being refereed, there's certainly not going to be much of a chance of that in the first half. The wonderful back row performances from both sides really shutting down any attempt to play that wide-style footy.
So Nick Darvanese, Michael Cheddar, we're going to take a quick 5-minute break and we'll back at second half where Churchie is leading 10 to Terrace 0.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's give one round of applause for our Red Thunder drumline. Well done, gentlemen. As well as being Keyboard Day today, it's also back to Tennyson Day, so we welcome many of our old boys from the past eras of Terrace, and you're very, very welcome at Tennyson today, and I hope you enjoy the second half.
Well, welcome back to second half of the game where we have Churchie versus Terrace. Churchie leading 10-0 at half-time. Welcome back to myself, Michael Chettle and Nick Davanese. And also, Nick, we forgot to mention before, this is actually Timor Friendship Day out here at Tennyson. So,
Yes, how on earth can we forget that?
yeah, well, I was going to say it's the relationship between the school and Timor, and very, very good afternoon. Old boys racing around everywhere. We're actually calling you from the Old Boys grandstand as we speak. So, if anything to go by in the first half, this should be a pretty tight ding-dong battle.
Yeah, it looks like no team is going to score that many points in the second half on the way this breakdown is it's trending so far. So we're going to see which team can sort of throw off the shackles of that and end up scoring a few tries.
Well, I tell you what, there's been a fair few defenders beaten today. It's been really exciting stuff, and I know you're doing a bit of research at half-time, and there's a fair few. And kickoff again, we'll come back to those stats in a minute. Big kickoff taken, number 8, Angus Ogilvie, the skipper. Straight into the action, 10-0 to Churchie. Cut out ball, that's great contact by number 12, Dan Condon.
And the Queensland schoolboys combination there, 7 and 12. Combining a wonderful tackle but giving away the penalty, not rolling away.
Well, interesting enough there when the referee said off his feet there, it was a very aggressive tackle from Condon. It was very interesting. I always find it very strange that if you're the aggressor and the tackler, you get penalised. But anyway, doesn't find touch. Vehu takes it straight up the middle.
Catches the shoulder of Hutton Shan.
So Mulcahy again. He only knows one way. He bumps off Max Drummond. There we go. No, it's not. Sorry. Let's get out of the front rowers club. Elikana, Condon to Hill. Hill on the outside of his number 13 was Sword. Hill offloads to Vandenberg, who was very quiet in the first half, and Vandenberg knocks that ball on.
Mulcahy, bang.
It
Says
was
see you
Drummond.
later to Max Drummond.
I'll tell you what, I think Hudson Mulcahy will remind Max Drummond of that in the next scrum.
I spotted the boy in the 16 jersey. Looks like Zach Crothers has been taken off. Suffered a head knock in the last 10 minutes of the previous half. Seemed to be all right to continue, but it seems that is no longer the case.
So, big scrum here just after half-time. Prosser with the feed. Flicks around, outside the back. getting numbers on. Don't want to find touch. I'm not too sure whether you want to see Cialo in broken play. One-on-one. Gets on the inside-outside tap. Well, tackle by Bilston.
This Terrace left edge is the danger one, isn't it, with Cialo and Vehu linking up.
So Kirk directing traffic. Tyrone Metasula Saipaia. He's been very good this afternoon. One more to Elikana. Big crunching crush up there. I think that's Emerson Treasure.
Medicel Supai leading the competition in number of carries with 40 through his first 3 games.
Well, he's going to add a fair few more on today as well. Hits the deck. Siola. Hill again. Hill pops the ball inside to Siola again with a support play. Sorry, I lost my words there. Referee says knock on.
Well, Mason Hill himself's got quite a fascinating story. Kiwi-born kid, was great friends with the New Zealand Sevens Regan Ware, who's a real superstar at the time. I think an Olympic champ, no, a Gold Coast Sevens champion at least, of the Commonwealth Games, I beg your pardon. Best friends with Regan Ware growing up. He was meant to start at Hamilton Boys High in New Zealand this season, but decided to stay a little bit close to his family on the Gold Coast by moving to Gregory Terrace. And haven't they reaped the benefits of that decision? Hill has been immense.
So,
just ability to get on the outside of his man.
Prosser with a feed. Good scrum by Churchie. Here we go. There's Howard with a crash ball to 13. His sword. Very, very repetitious every time. Yeah, Will Roach. Will Roach will eat that every single time.
And has done twice today now.
Now, if Terrace know what's going to happen with Sword coming out of the danger period every time, surely Churchie should be knowing to get right behind him and support him as well.
Oh, either that or use him as a decoy. I mean, he's a wonderful size for it, 111 kilograms as a 17-year-old in grade 11.
And moves very sharp on his feet too, which is even more dangerous.
Well, I had a quick chat with Jaden Sewer from the Brisbane Broncos this week about Sword. Might have to tell the story after this line out.
So, over the top there, not straight throw.
Oh, looks like this might be my chance. So I've said to Jaden this week, look, man, I've got this kid at Churchie, the outside centre, 111 kilograms. You were such a dominant centre in your day at Churchie in 2015. How did you stack up physically to him? He says, oh, I was a good 13 kilograms. I still would have smashed him.
Nothing like a little bit of confidence there.
So Jaden Sewer, well aware of young Izzy Sword coming through the Churchie system.
So here we go. This is where Terrace need to stick the scrum into Churchie. Just inside the 22-metre line. Let's see what, again, they go dummy run again. Uses referee as a bit of a go-to. The Nug, as they call him, Jacob Middleton Pole.
Strongest player on the field.
Big second rower. Good contact again by Terrace. But they seem to be just rejuvenating that ball every single time. Oh, number 12 is Ben Stoddart, drops the ball.
The two centres from Gregory Terrace, Hill and Condon combining in a big shot.
So a bit of a stop-start affair so far in the last few minutes.
Well, as we mentioned, Gregory Terrace, Churchie rather, have lost their hooker Zach Crothers for the afternoon to a head knock. We'll see if their scrum, 25-kilogram underdogs against Gregory Terrace, can maintain that dominance they showed in the first half.
So Will Kirk with the feed. Good scrum by Churchie, but Terrace got the ball out fast. Mason Hill out, takes it up to the halfway line, and Condon comes flying through. Slow ball one more time by Churchie.
Gee, I would have given that straight to Wayne Bilson the second he got on that ball. So this combination with Condon and Hill just working wonders. They scored a wonderful try together, linking up in exactly that fashion against State High in minute 2 of their match.
It's interesting, the first week when we watched them, they did a lot of out the back door plays, and then last week they started giving Hill and Condon combining, so maybe just getting a bit more comfortable with each other. And
the chemistry is absolutely developing.
So Mulcahy here needs to concentrate.
It's quite the dynamic duo.
So you get right on the action there for the camera. Taken down. 5 metres. Sack was okay, says referee. Pick and drive one more time. Mulcahy out the right-hand side, not this time. Contact there, 3 or 4 metres out. Terrace close to the line, couple of metres out. The big fella Mulcahy. Referee says high tackle. Is that a try? Try.
Is that Mulcahy getting up? He's got 4 in 2 weeks. Incredible stuff from the hooker. The 16A's captain of Gregory Terrace missed the start of the season with some injuries to his lower body, but gee, has come back with a vengeance later on this season.
This hit up there, Nick set him up there because it really sucked in a fair few of the Churchie players, and Mulcahy just too strong.
Jeez, wrestling, scrambling, dancing along with the defence, eventually plunging over and scoring his 4th try.
10-5.
We're going to get a wonderful angle wheel kick. Second attempt, attempting to close the gap down from 5 points to 3. Missed a penalty from right in front in the first half. Bit of wind interference there. And if you're just joining us, don't pay too much attention to these flags atop the goalposts. They are made of metal. So if they're wobbling around, you know it's a really strong wind.
That's a trap for young players here today, isn't it? So great camera angle there, seeing the Churchie boys come back. So 10-7.
So Gregory Terrace, not they were ever out of it, but certainly back into this game.
So kickoff again. Goes a bit deeper over the 22-metre line. Inside to Kirk. Kirk with a good purchase on the ball. Doesn't find touch. Just on the inside of the touch line. Ball hits the deck. That's not what he wants. Hits the leg. That's Bilston. Bilston with a big long legs.
Big and strong Wayne Bilston.
Gets up to the halfway line. One more time. Out the back door was McPherson. Crashing another offload to this another big second row on the left-hand side.
Futurell there.
Futurell again.
His third year in this Churchie first 15.
Charlie Howard with a big out the back door. JP Tomanika coming through as a dummy runner.
Gee, that same play they scored off in the set piece in the first half.
McPherson with the right foot step, if you can call it that. He's still going, McPherson. Getting over the 10-metre line. This is a few metres every single time. JP Tomanika. Tries to put the boot on the ball. Good contact there. I'll tell you what, ball pops out the back. Shimmy and a whoosh. Tackled by Elikana. Churchie taking their time, but Terrace aren't panicking here, Nick. They're taking defensively, they're very strong.
Well, taking some notes out of Gregory Terrace's playbook with his patience. But it's the same result as it was for Gregory Terrace.
Quick tap that's Kirk. Out to Mavega. Out to the big man, Mulcahy. He doesn't know how to pass. He does offload the Metasula Sapia. Kirk. No one there. The big fella, Mavega.
Just attempting to get that meaty arm free for an offload. Losing it in the contact there. And you have to say Churchie off the hook again.
And it looks like Fred Futrell came through with a big hit on the big Mavega.
Fred Futrell, 18 years old, the only 18-year-old player in this Churchie first 15. As we mentioned earlier, his third year in this first 15. Queensland schoolboy from 2017 and 2018, hailing from Casuarina on the Tweed Heads, and one of only 4 boarders in this team.
Casuarina down there. Adam Wallace-Harrison, one of the Reds greats down there now, is doing some coaching and playing down there, I believe.
Yeah, I think that's about right.
I think he's about the youngest in the team in the mid-30s. So out the back door, Churchie. Howard, cross-field kick. Let's see what happens here. Has he got too much for Carrigan? Taken there by Ciolo. Knock back, play on, says the referee.
Vandenberg, tremendously strong player on that right edge of Gregory Terrace.
He's a specimen of a person, isn't he? Big Jorgensen, the Viking, as we've said before. Kirk to Elikana. Very
advantage
flat
here.
Emerson Treasure. Very flat, but still gets over the 10-yard line. Ball pops out. Kirk.
Churchie offside, time to roll the dice.
Elikana. Elikana just gets over the advantage line. 13 is Mason Hill. Again, he's been dynamite this afternoon. Referee tells the play, get back. So number 18, don't have his number, sorry. We'll, if we get it, we'll let you know who he is. Will Kirk. Jorgensen, short ball to Mavega, and there we go again. That is Vehu. Vehu. Great 20-30 metre yard line, gain line. Kirk, lazy runners there. That was Fred Futrell. The big Metasula Sapaia. Kirk outside Elikana. Out the back there. There was Condon. Here we go. Hill with an offload. So Vandenberg. Vandenberg beats 1, beats 2. Takes 3 or 4 in the tackle.
McKinley's on the ball.
All over the ball, you're exactly right.
A key clean out.
Mulcahy, he can sniff another try. That'll be 5 in 2 weeks. Elikana. Metasula Sapaia takes on the line. He gets over the 5, up to the 5 metre line. Mavega, he'll be hard to stop. 2 metres to go.
Churchie penalised for slowing down the ball there.
4 or 5 phases there, Nick, from one side of the field to the other.
Gregory Terrace, they're going to try their chance their Well, the rolling maul or the strike weapons of Condon and Hill. Which will they go?
And let's go back a couple of minutes. That was Glenn Vahu, a couple of missed tackles, getting 15, 16 metres, and bang, all of a sudden, pressure.
Incredible, 85 kilograms, but ran like he was 130.
So, Treasure. Sorry, Mulcahy, beg your pardon. Sack is okay. Just on the 5 metre line.
Wonder if there was a breakdown in communication there.
Playing advantage offside.
Kirk with an offload there, just 1 or 2 metres out. Referee says penalty there, all offside.
Time off.
Now warning incoming for Churchie.
So, I've got not rolling just before red zone.
Yeah.
And I've got your inside centre offside. Okay. I need a better performance, especially down here. Otherwise, someone will have to go.
Yeah.
Wait. Time on.
Well, he was very articulate, the referee, exactly what he's looking for. I think he might go for some cheese next time.
Oh, there was no mincing the words there.
Mulcahy, he wants another one.
Within inches.
Kirk, offload there, Jorgensen. They're about 2 or 3 metres out. Churchie need to be strong here. Treasure. Line speed, as you can hear the call from Churchie. Kirk, offload there, right in the middle third of the field. Kirk again, Elikana. Condon, he'll score.
Unstoppable.
He is very good. He's strong, fast, acceleration there.
Jay Condon, a Queensland schoolboy this year, but you can see exactly why in this clip here. Biding that time, Gregory Terrace first until spreading it wide for the space. And with so much power, so much speed, he can really do a bit of everything, Dan Condon. He's one with a really bright future. You see he head down, accelerating to the line, and unstoppable there. Charlie Howard. I think it was Will McPherson there, had no chance of stopping that.
When someone's coming that fast, that close to the line, it's hard to stop even as a big second rower.
And so low as well. I mean, there was no chance of getting under that and disrupting his placing of the ball. That was just a well-taken try. And just like that, Gregory Terrace, who battled so much in this first half, have finally hit the lead.
And I have to say, we spoke about in the first half, Churchie's line speed has been absolutely sensational, but just, I think that bit of fatigue now, the line speed's good, but Terrace just getting over that gain line every single time.
And I wonder if the warning from the referee, we'll wait for this kick to... Just short.
Just didn't make that effort there, that last one.
Well, so any score will take Churchie back into the lead. We're setting up for an absolute thriller. Condon, the try scorer, straight back into the fold.
So, back in the inside there. Oh no, that's pressure. Ciolo said, referee says that's a knock back there, Nick. Interesting.
Interesting is one word for it, sure.
Depends on which team you're on. Will Bilston, kick into the corner, hits the deck. Vahu again. Gets away. No, he doesn't. No, he gets away from one. Number 7 is Connor McKinley, the original try. The skipper with the ball behind him, Will Roach. But the referee calls that one a knock-on.
Well, so maybe justice there for Churchie.
Your hands were here and it went forward.
They'll get in the same position as they were previously. And now it's their turn for a chance to strike back against this Terrace line and quell the uprising. They've shipped 10 unanswered points so far in this second half and only 11 minutes.
I really enjoy watching the teams, Nick, their patience. They're really patient these days, not like schoolboy rugby of old where everything was being rush, really calm and concentrating.
Oh, they're so well coached these days. I'll tell a story about Tom Barker, who's a legendary coach in the GPS, now taking the reins of Gregory Terrace.
So Prosser, another crash ball there. Referee says, no, that's okay.
Counter ruck's good.
Counter ruck is good, referee says. Let's see who gets off the deck there last. Number 18, quick tap by Kirk. They don't want to muck around this afternoon. Hill, no, sorry, beg your pardon. That is Vehu.
Not the best option there, kicking from hand.
So Prosser one more time.
A cheap turnover.
Good contact. Mavega over the ball. No good that time. Going in the back door. Good pressure by Terrace. Too much. Oh, no. Just hits in the inside there if you're chipping onto the green. That is absolutely perfect.
Spectacular.
That's a big play with 52 minutes gone.
Gee, that counts as a turnover, I suppose, kicking it out, but geez, you won't get many better. Now Terrace have to throw over the spectre, looming spectre of Fred Futrell there in the number 2 jumper spot.
So Mulcahy, the try scorer. Up over the top, just misses it, Churchie. Hits the deck, Metasula Sapaia. Again, as Nick said before, most carries in the competition this year. That's another one. Kirk. There's a dummy by Hill. I beg your pardon, Condon. Beg your pardon, I thought Hill was going to go. So Condon with another hit up. Out the back one more time. Lazy runners. Referee, that's a knock on there. Just a little bit of a mix up there at the breakdown.
It seems Gregory Terrace just have this absolute refusal today to kick from hand, even when exiting their 22. It opens them up to these sorts of areas, which are going to let Churchie one day, it's going to let this chicken among the hen house.
So you can see the size of these fellas right here now, and they'll be blowing at 53 minutes in. So Churchie just on the outside of the 22-metre line. 12-10.
Aaron Prosser with the feed. Johannesburg born.
No more.
Prosser out to Howard. Crash ball there to Sword. Sword. Tackle by Batung. Pick and drive. No one home. Number 8 is Ogilvie, the skipper.
Now there's some momentum here for Churchie.
One more time. Let's see who gets off the ground last there.
You can't tell, but there are some tired bodies out there.
Well, Izzy Sword getting 10 or 15 metres, and every time, however, he's got to have that support.
See how he is, okay?
Looks like it was number 18 who got the turnover there. Can't see any front row subs. He must be playing something different.
And Terrace just find the line there. Referee's going to have a bit of a blow because Marley Batunga is having a...
Time off. Angus, time's off. Time's off. We okay? Time on.
There you go, short, sharp, no mucking about. You fine? Let's play on then.
So Mulcahy now. Taken on as a change over there by Churchie.
Fred Futrell going up, coming down with it.
Prosser now barking orders. He wants his forwards to pick and drive. He doesn't want it. No moving there. Emerson Treasure. Try moving him in a rush. Pick and drive again. That's the 15-metre line you can see on your screen. Pick and drive, short ball to the big JP Tomanico. Offload there, inside ball. That's a try. Try.
Phenomenal play from Churchie. How about this movement of the ball? Fantastic stuff.
There was just those couple of quick offloads there and never died off the ball, Churchie.
Well, we haven't got a name for this bloke. He's come off the bench replacing Australian schoolboys hooker Zach Crothers, but gee, he had some toe about him, didn't he?
And this is a real big difference of what we've been seeing before, Nick. It's not this passing out the back door, pick and drive.
So as the turnover from Future on the line out, Angus Ogilvie, I think, rumbles over the line here. JB Tomanico rumbling ahead, the first offload to McKinley and then popping it away for the man off the bench, number 16. It's simple, but gee, it's effective. So just like that, Terrace back trailing. And we'll find out how much by very soon.
Well, he can... I think Terrace can ask the question if that was a line ball or a flat ball, but anyway, it's on the scoreboard now, 15-12. Aaron Prosser 2 from 2. Strikes it. Strikes it well. So 17-12. Churchie over Terrace. So you can see the crowd in the background there. Very good crowd here this afternoon for Timor Friendship Day here at International Oval. Kick off again by Kirk. Gets a bit too much distance this time. Taken by the skipper, number 8, is Ogilvie. He's been strong all day. Referee says, no, that's okay. Yeah, play on. Good crash there. Good tackle by Marley Batungan. Box kick in the air. Vehu. One-on-one with Prosser. Sorry, Howard, beg your pardon. Again, Vehu. He's been dynamite this afternoon. One more time.
Just effortless for him. He just puts on a little skip and burst of acceleration. All of a sudden, there's a trail of bodies behind him, much like Mulcahy in a very different fashion.
I think Hudson Mulcahy would be very happy you've compared him to Glenn Vehu. On the outside there, Ciolo. Ciolo with a shimmy and a whoosh. Inside ball, no support there. Plenty of numbers on the ball by Churchie. Pick and drive. There's no one home there behind the ruck and maul. This is about the third or fourth phase now. Elikana, the captain, he punches well above his weight. Batunga with a good clean out. Elikana again. Treasure. Offload. Oh, prop to hooker, to winger. How good is that, Nick? Prop to hooker to winger.
That's the dream, I tell you what that is.
That is a dream indeed. Oh, not watching Jorgensen.
Oh, that was the mistake. You got the non-front rows involved.
Out the back door again.
This might be a counter opportunity for Churchie on this left wing.
Fred Frutrell getting about 10 or 15 yards on the left-hand side of the park. Numbers on the ball. Referee says yes.
There's Will Roach over the ball. It is indeed.
Well, when you see a big guy like that, no support random, a guy like Will Roach is going to eat that up for breakfast.
We've seen some wonderful over-the-ball flankers in the GPS recently. We saw Fraser McRae, who we think set the GPS record with 25 turnovers through his 8 games. The very next year, we saw Hayden Mosley from Nudgee better that with 28. I think Will Roach is going to go close to pushing that record as well this year. Phenomenal work. Every breakdown he touches, he has some influence on.
Now, for those of you at home, just saw one of the greatest spectacles in rugby you'll ever see. Prop to hooker to winger. How good's that?
Finishing up with a spot every prop dreams of being.
Okay.
And I bet you they'll replay that 1,000 times over the years too. So
that's the great thing is, you know, if you always have your schoolwork stories that from 25. Oh, we're going to have a look here, the replay of just what you were describing, Chettle. Would you call this again for
Treasure,
us?
Mavega, Mulcahy, Devahu. How good. That is sensational.
There's little moments of that to make rugby the beautiful game. Let's get soccer out of here.
He's going off.
Apologies to any soccer fans listening, but not really.
And that was Nick Darvanese that said that, all you soccer fans. Quick tap.
Great observation, Michael Chettle.
Kirk to Mulcahy with a big rumble in the middle. Holding the ball up. Mulcahy's in trouble now, hits the deck.
It's like a state of origin kickoff, isn't it? Every time Mulcahy takes that ball up.
You know, that's a really good analogy. I think you're exactly right. He runs with so much vigour and power, and there's not going to be a step in it. He's going to go straight for it.
Well, I'll tell you who it reminds me of, and it's going to be a funny one, because he was a Churchie boy in 2003, Carmichael Hunt.
Yeah, well, that's not a bad comparison, I reckon. He had no fear for his body. So here we go, just on the 22-metre line.
Crouch! Bind! Sit!
So Prosser with a feed. Good scrum again by Churchie. Goes out the back. That's Bilston. Bilston with a big boot.
He played some representative AFL up in the Northern Territory, Wayne Bilston, before arriving at the Churchie boarding house this year.
So referee yet taken back.
Oh no.
Was outside. That's right.
So Touchy and referee conversing with each other.
Well, a big call may have set the cat among the pigeons here.
Beautiful.
So Mulcahy here needs to hit his mark. Over the top, Roach misses that one, but still gets on the outside of the Churchie line out. Kirk. Again, Condon. Another rumble up the middle there. Kirk going left-hand side to Ciolo. There we go, Vehu beats one. Beats, no, doesn't go two this time. Got a couple of smaller guys in the ruck and maul. The skipper. The 2 sevens meet each other in the middle. 2 metres out from the try line. Kirk looking round for some options. Referee calls a penalty.
Well, Churchie put together a real highlight reel of this sort of performance, denying Terrace just about at every turn. They have to work so hard to crack this defensive line.
Well, it's certainly been a turnover-a-thon, hasn't it? It's if you're not on your ball, you're not on the ball.
We might catch a replay of that later, but well, you see that there. What a wonderful shot. Wayne Bilson there, sucking in the big ones. His side have been asked to defend and defend and defend.
Anything new?
Here we go here. Will Roach spinning and twisting and driving out of these tackles. Getting close. We're going to find out what caused this replay. What caused the penalty.
Inside the 22. They're going to rumble it out one more time. Patungan with a tackle. And same with Elikana.
They can't kick it out from here.
So again, they've gone down that way, but that's big tackle there. One more time, Will Roach. Every time there's something big happening, Will Roach is there. Ciolo bounces ball well for him, beats one tackle. Ciolo on the right-hand side. One more band to beat. Comes inside. There's a big tackle. Referee says that's okay. Lazy runners there for Terrace. Will Kirk.
8 blue, not rolling.
8 blue, not rolling away, says the referee. Elikana out the back door this time. Condon out to Vehu. To Hill. Oh, Hill knocks the ball down. Referee says no, we'll go back for the penalty.
Blue offside.
Well, there's a pep in Terrace's step. This crowd is energised. There's a grandstand bay of boys all up on their feet.
Scrum.
I think they can tell the game-winning blow may come very shortly.
It just seems like a bit of a like a boxing match, doesn't it? A few jabs, and that last punch just isn't connecting at the moment.
Well, when the back minutes of the 8th round, I'd say they're starting to get heavy. The heavyweights slugging it out all match. The defences are about to crumble. You just get that sense, don't you?
There's not long to go in the game.
6.5 minutes.
Crouch. Bind. And watch 8. Set.
Kirk with the feed.
Good scrum. 45. 45.
Big scrum now. Get this one. Wait,
Start straight, stay straight.
The GPS playing under under-19 laws. The scrum can't go past 3 metres, I believe it is.
So here we go.
It can't go past 3 metres or twist 45 degrees. So it's all about getting a fair contest of these scrums, and that's why we reset then.
So one more time, Kirk to reset the ball. Another scrum. They'll need to get the hook back. Penalty says there for Churchie. Just got roughed up there, Nick, in the middle, and they put the second shove on and got him in a lot of trouble.
Geez, tight head prop, JP Domenico, a Queensland schoolboy. He's popped Hudson Mulcahy, the Terrace hooker, off his feet. That's phenomenal work, splitting the loose head and tight end hooker of the opposite pack. Phenomenal work from that man. Well, we've got to say, a wonderful scrummaging effort all day from Church. They've been absolutely dominant.
Well, when you've got a guy that size as well, and also that technique in the scrum, isn't it? You can have all the size, but the technique is a real, to get a guy like Mulcahy in the air like he did before, that is a perfect scrummaging technique.
This side.
Time rapidly running out for Gregory Terrace. They look to mount their comeback.
So here we go. Up over the top, takes that well. No one in front of him, but there it takes 3 or 4 extra yards. Prosser to Howard. Turns his body every time he passes the ball. Offload by McPherson. He's had a good game this afternoon, McPherson, with plenty of offloads. Actually, both second rowers, Fred Fruchel and also McPherson.
Oh, Churchie looking to put the nail into it now.
Terrace don't want to give away any penalties because it's going to make everything a lot more hard.
Well, a penalty giving away right now will end the game.
So taking their time, Churchie. Actually going to try to, I believe, maybe just try to make Terrace make a mistake here, Nick.
Patience is the order of the day.
Prosser one more time.
But as we said, time rapidly running out for Gregory Terrace. as Churchie inching forward.
Pick and drive. Not many people on the ball from Terrace, beg your pardon.
Use it.
Use it or lose it, referee says. Pick and drive, just going up the field by 3 metres every single time.
Well, Churchie not hiding their intentions. Their entire field is compressed to about half the width of this playing field.
So we're getting close to double figures for the phase play. The Terrace crowd getting behind their players.
Nervously chanting it, I have to say. They know how important this is.
Yeah, and this is exactly what Churchie had asked for. The patience, the penalty. Pick and drive, they're 5 metres out. Referee's playing advantage. 4 metres, no, back to 5, back to 4. 4.5 we'll say.
Playing advantage, 9 red offside.
Another penalty coming the way if they don't score. Referee says yes, arm up.
Stop!
9 red offside.
Aaron Prosser, the South African-born halfback, he wanted to take quickly,
Time off.
under plenty of instructions, to slow it down.
And that's where your skipper kicks in, doesn't it? Slow down. We've got plenty of time to kick a goal.
Well, we had a brief stoppage of the clock there, but it won't be enough.
Oh, they got a quick tap. The big fella, he'll score, score!
Domenico winning the game for Churchie, you'd have to say.
2 minutes after.
Nick, can I just say, that is absolute confidence here. Not taking a scrum to waste time. The cheeky halfback, Prosser, take a tap, give it to JP Domenico. That far out from the line, you're not going to stop him.
Jeez, it's worked every year since under sixes, hasn't it? Give it to the big bloke when you're not far from the line.
Give it to the big bloke, that's right.
Phenomenal stuff from Churchie. They went down in a big loss to Southport School in round 1. They went down 40 points to 5, had the round 2 bye and came back with a 17-5 win over Brisbane Grammar School. So we really hadn't got a test or a litmus test of where Churchie stood in 2018. I think this win has shown plenty of courage, plenty of ability, plenty of technical nous. And as Aaron Prosser, perfect goal king today, looks to put the icing on the cake.
I've really been impressed with Churchie's attack and defence, and also as well their patience in defence has been really the key. When Terrace came out just after half time and started, hit a couple of quick tries, they had every right to go in their bag and wrap things up, but no, they came back, and Churchie have just been dominant ever since probably about the 55th minute. Strikes it. Hits that.
Picture perfect. 12 points the margin. And have to say, insurmountable now. Churchie can begin celebrating.
So Kirk with a kickoff. Holds up in the win. That's a perfect kick. Taken by Metasula Sarpoia. He's had a lot of carries again this afternoon. What's Terrace up the middle? Jorgensen again. Knock on. Referee will look at his watch. There's still a little bit more time to go.
The peak. Well, phenomenal stuff, Churchie. I mean, we thought going into this match should be a battle of sort of the midfield table is probably where we expect these two teams to finish up. Churchie have staked their claim to potentially finishing 4th or 5th in the competition, you have to say, in the general pecking order. They've still got huge matches coming up against BBC and Nudgee, where they've got a real chance to disrupt the remainder of the season for those schools. Those schools still currently undefeated.
So here we go. Aaron Prosser to feed the ball. Been very good this afternoon. Pressure by his number 9 opposition, Kirk. Another big rumble up the middle. Left-hand side, you can actually see the second rows one more time. Penalty there. What else are they got to do? Quick tap by Kirk.
They want a quick one. To Vehu. That's the man they want.
Mulcahy there. One more time. Big men collide in the middle. Kirk has to get the ball out faster than that. Roach. Good contact again. There's been not one tackle this afternoon, hasn't it? Kirk darting. 4 metres to go.
Well, there are no bonus points in GPS, but Terrace fighting now all for pride.
So referee says no, not 10 metres. Quick tap and go. Kirk with a tap. Pass out Elikana. Crash ball to Condon. Condon, there we go. Just goes on the deck. And that's it. Ball going down on the deck.
Full time.
Nick Darvanese, 24-12. 10-0 at half-time to Churchie, 12-10 then to Terrace, and now 24-12. Seesawing battle.
Seesawing battle, absolutely. That was the margin I ended up picking Terrace to win by in the end. I thought it would be a 12-point Terrace win before the match kicked off. Churchie have come out and proved their doubters, among me amongst them, proved them wrong. A wonderful performance and built on the back of some wonderful first half defence.
Well, it's been a wonderful afternoon at Rugby Union. Let me tell you, firstly, before we say goodbye, this has been a wonderful afternoon at Tennyson. Nick Darvanese, mate, out of all the players today, who's your highlight of the day?
I think, geez, it's a tough one. There was such a wonderful performance all through that Churchie back row. Connor McKinlay had a number of wonderful steals in that first half. I'm tempted to give to him. Will Roach in a losing effort was simply phenomenal. He's earned that Australian Schoolboys jersey without a shadow of a doubt. But yeah, I think the Churchie 7 today has got to take home the chocolates.
Yeah, I agree with you completely. There were some really good players. JP Tomanika at the end, but I reckon you're exactly right with Connor McKinlay as well. So that's it for this afternoon. We see 24-12 that Churchie defeats Gregory Terrace. Just before we say goodbye, I want to say thank you to Rob, Blake, Zach and Cam, who do all the back-end stuff because they make us look good on the site. Well, hopefully we look good anyway. And I'd like to say thanks, Nick Darvanese, mate. We'll see you next week, and thank you very much, everyone, for joining in.
Michael Shedd, I think we've got a wonderful match planned for next week. It'll be a big one. We can't tell you who it is just yet. Stay tuned to our Facebook page. We'll let you know as soon as we can. Until then, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon from Tennyson, and goodbye.
You know, yeah.